allow the two children to handle the budget every year. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo do 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 do. Mayegun diary, Mayegun la wa mo la mo do 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 do. Mayegun diary, Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí. Mayegun diary, lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ní Mayegun.
Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is brunch time with Mayegun, which also happened to be the first broadcast in the month of October. In Nigeria, they are pretending to be celebrating Independence Day. I don't know what you are celebrating, but I do have for you this morning, this afternoon, depends on the time you are joining us. The happenings from the contraption, the 64-year-old baby. And that is Nigeria, the mismanaged contraption. 64 years, a baby. Tell everybody that cares to listen and probably to join us. Tell them that Mayegun today. Mayegun today.
Mayegun today. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Mayegun today. Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì. Mayegun today.
Happy New Month. they are Templars. To those who like Mayegun and those who don't really like Mayegun, it doesn't really matter. Koolu has predicted. He has taken the business of lying to another level. And I am here to help you understand that indeed propaganda can't really run a country. Not a country that is already failed country. Tinubu spent 20 minutes lying to millions of people, and Nigeria media have been sharing the nonsense. Not even a single person, not even a single media platform has done a fact-checking of all the lies that Tinubu spewed this morning. They all just put out their headlines as usual. So please share this. Motide. So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from. It is Mayegun, and it is brunch time with Mayegun live. Nigerians who have been the victims of a failed, corrupt, ineffective, inefficient, incompetent regime of Tinubu, they woke up this morning to the barrage of lies, where Tinubu and possibly those who wrote the nonsense, right, lied for 20 straight minutes. And as much as it's so cringy for those who know the truth to watch, there are gullible people that actually swallow the lies. Among the lies that Tinubu told this morning was that they've paid back the 27.5 trillion naira that Bokohari printed and shared. Nobody wants to know how and where did the money they used in paying for that? Where did that come from? They just felt like, hey, wow, he's paid back the money. Similar way that they reduced the number of unemployed Nigerians from over 70% unemployed Nigerians. They reduced it to 5%. And they are telling themselves that Ashe Nigeria no get problem of unemployment, sha. Nobody that is unemployed in Nigeria, sha. So we have been doing it wrongly all this while. Assuming that will actually fix the main socio-economic problem created by joblessness, weak economy, or destroyed economy in Nigeria, rather than change it, right? It further aggravated it. And the common slang out there, including today, was that people are hungry and angry. Ebim pawao hunger day in English. So there is no amount of cooking of the book that is going to change what is a fact. They were lying to you about your inflation, lying about almost everything, hoping that if they said that, if they said that, everything will just be fine. No, it won't be fine. And that is why you have Mayegun's Diary Political, where in case if you are wondering, how come things are so bad? If truly these people said they have done this and that, how come things are so bad? Because they have not done anything in that direction. They have ruined Nigeria and they are cooking the figure. I'm kind of like, so it was so funny, right? When they said that Tinubu said he has paid back the 30 trillion naira ways and means, which is like a white lie. So did they think that they can just doctor the book and that amount of money will just disappear? Sorry, the such debt will just be cleared because somebody inside the CBN decided to write it off. No longer put it in the book. Don't put it in the book anymore that the ways and means, money borrowed the government, money printed by Bokohari. Just say we have paid it, okay? So where is it? Similar way that Emefiole told you that the almost $10 billion they gave to Dangote for his refinery. Before the refinery, he actually produced 1 teaspoon of crude oil. They said Dangote don't pay back 70% of it. Now, Tinubu came, they said, I will not see any money anywhere where Dangote pay. Here you get. Lies won't change anything, okay? even if it gives you a temporary sort of a psychological relief, in reality, the effect of that looting, the effect of that economic sinkhole is always going to be felt. And they can lie to you, they can't lie to me, and they can't lie to those who care to know the truth, not those who are kind of feeling like, may God, or wishing that things just get better. I just wish that everything is fine, Sha. I know that God will do it. I know that God, like the God of Adeboye, that will say, IMF, whether you like it or not, Nigeria Naira shall rise again. The fake God of Adeboye and co. That is not how it works. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will start this afternoon. I know it can be a little bit boring, but don't worry. It is a pre-recorded. The cut and join, cut and paste. Paste, copy and paste, cut and join. So it's not like Tinubu trying to make anything, okay? He was reading it, and they have to do it several times. In the videos I'm going to show to you right now, you can easily tell that they are like cutting and paste, cutting and join. Like they have to retake some of these things many times before they finally got the one they published, right? So this morning, Tinubu broadcasted this. We will be taking it in parts. The first one.
Fellow Nigerians, as I address you today, I am deeply aware of the struggles many of you face in these challenging times. Our administration knows that many of you struggle with rising costs and the search for meaningful employment. I want to assure you that your voices are heard. As your president, I assure you that we are committed to finding sustainable solutions to alleviate the suffering of our citizens. Once again, I plead for your patience as the reforms we are implementing show positive signs, and we are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly 64 years ago, our founding fathers chose democracy as a form of government and launched the dream of a great country that would lead the rest of Africa out of poverty, ignorance, and underdevelopment. A beacon of hope for the rest of Africa and the world. Over 6 decades later, we can look back, and Nigerians worldwide can see how well we have succeeded in realizing the lofty dream of our founding fathers. The world is witnessing and benefiting from the can-do spirit of Nigerian people, our massive intellectual capacity, and our enterprise and industry in all vocations, from art to science, technology to infrastructure. The dreams that our founding fathers envisaged are still work in progress. Every day, we put our hands on the plow, determined to do a better job of it. While it is tempting to focus on what has been left undone and where we have stumbled as a nation, we must never lose sight of how far we have come in forging and holding our country together. Since independence, our nation has survived many crises and upheavals that led to the dissolution and disintegration of many other nations worldwide. 6 years after independence, our country descended into a political crisis that led to a bitter and avoidable civil war. Since returning from the brink of that darkest moment, we have learned to embrace our diversity and manage our differences better as we continue to work towards engendering a more perfect union. despite the many challenges that buffeted our country, we remain a strong, united, and viable sovereign nation. Dear compatriots, our independence anniversary gave us another chance to reflect on how far we have gone in our journey to nation building and to renew our commitment to building a better nation that will serve present and future generations of Nigerians. While we celebrate the progress we have made as people in the last 64 years, we must also recognize some of our missed opportunities and mistakes of the past if we are to become one of the greatest nations on earth, as God has destined us to be. Our mistake must not be follow into the future. My administration took over leadership of our country 16 months ago at a critical juncture. The economy faced many headwinds and our physical security highly impaired. We found ourselves at a distant crossroad where we must choose between two paths: reform for progress and prosperity, or carry on the business as usual and collapse. We decided to reform our political economy and defense architecture. On the security front, I am happy to announce to you, my compatriots, that our administration is winning the war on terror and banditry. Our target is to eliminate all threats of Boko Haram, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and the scourge of all forms of violent extremism. Within 1 year, our government has eliminated many Boko Haram and bandit commanders faster than ever. As of the last count, over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders have been eliminated by our gallant troops in the northeast, northwest, and some other part of the country. We have restored peace to hundreds of communities in the north, and thousands of our people have been able to return home. It is an unfinished business, I agree, which our security agencies are committed to ending as quickly as possible. As soon as we can restore peace to many communities in the troubled part of the north, our farmers can return to their farms. We expect to see a leap in food production and a downward spiral in food costs. I promise you, we shall not falter on this.
Nuisance Lele.
That's the first one, okay? I know you can sit down there and easily just puncture all the lies, all right? Since na speech, then write for them, say make him read, all right? And in reality, okay, you would expect them to at least give you the names of communities that they have liberated, all right, that people are now returning back to their homes on the issue of insecurity. The light, when they tell you, say they are at the end of the tunnel, Nalayo, there is no light at the end of any tunnel. We don't go check them. They've stolen the bulb. They've stolen the generator. They've stolen everything that is there. Everything is darkness, darkness, and darkness. And it's not just say because we don't like the guy. It's because what he's saying to you right there is a pure lie. Of course, they've been able to eliminate, as he put it, they've been able to kill just maybe about 4 TikTok Fulani terrorists. You see those ones that are on TikTok. The Ogbonge Fulani terrorists that are collecting taxes in half of Niger State. The Boko Haram terrorists that are collecting taxes and the Fulani terrorists that are collecting taxes in Borno State, half of Borno State, half of Katsina State, part of Kaduna State, Yobe, Kerbi, they are still there. Gidigba. People are paying their taxes to them as we speak. And if, what do you call it? The fact that is kind of making it look like they met an economy that was headwind, whatever he said there, right? Again, that was the genesis, or should you say the genesis of more lies that is going to spew. I don't want to waste much of our time. I want us to get over it quick, so I can add my own expose on it before going to something else, okay? Listen to the other one from the same Koolu this morning. Oh yeah, continue.
Particularly the flooding in the part of the country. After Vice President Kashim Shettima visited Maiduguri, I also visited to assure our people that this federal government will always stand with our people in their times of trouble. At the last meeting of the Federal Executive Council, we approved a disaster relief fund to mobilize private and public sector funds to help us respond faster to emergencies. Our government has also ordered integrity tests of our dams in the country to avert future disasters. The economy is undergoing the necessary reforms and retooling to serve us better and more sustainably. If we do not correct the physical misalignment that led to the current economic downturn, our country will face an uncertain future and the peril of unimaginable consequences. Thanks to the reform, our country attracted foreign direct investment worth more than $30 billion in the last year. Fellow compatriots, our administration is committed to free enterprises, free entry, and free exit in investment while maintaining the sanctity and efficacy of our regulatory processes. This principle guides the divestment transaction in our upstream sector, where we are committed to changing the fortune positively. As such, ExxonMobil surplus divestment will receive ministerial approval in a matter of days, having been concluded by the regulator, NUPRC, in line with the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. This was done in the same manner as other qualified divestment approved in the sector. The move will create vibrancy and increase oil and gas production positively, impacting our economy. The more disciplined approach adopted by the central bank to monetary policy management has ensured stability and predictability in our foreign exchange market. We inherited a reserve of over 33 billion 16 months ago. Since then, we have paid back the inherited forex backlog of 7 billion. We have cleared the ways and means debt of over 30 trillion naira. We have reduced the debt service ratio from 97% to 68%. Despite all this, we have managed to keep our foreign reserve at 37 billion. We continue to meet all our obligations and pay our bills. We are moving ahead with our fiscal policy reforms. We stimulate our productive capacity and create more jobs and prosperity. The Federal Executive Council approved the Economic Stabilization Bill, which will now be transmitted to the National Assembly. This transformative bill will make our business environment more friendly, stimulate investment, and reduce the tax burden on businesses and workers once they are passed into law. As part of our efforts to re-engineer our political economy, we are resolute in our determination to implement the Supreme Court judgment on the financial autonomy of local governments. The central concern of our people today is the high cost of living, especially food costs. This concern is shared by many around the globe as prices and the cost of living continue to rise worldwide. My fellow Nigerians, please be assured that we are implementing many measures to reduce the cost of living at home. I commend the governors, particularly in Kebbi, Niger, Jigawa, Kwara, Nasarawa, and other Southwest governors that have embraced our agricultural production program. I urge other states to join the federal government in investing in mechanized farming. We are playing our part by supplying fertilizer and making tractors and other farm equipment available. Last week, the Federal Executive Council approved establishing a local assembly plant for 2,000 John Deere tractors, combine harvesters, disc riders, bottom plows, and other farm equipment. The plant has a completion time of 6 months. Our energy transition program is on course. We are expanding the adoption of the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas for mass transit with private sector players. The federal government is ready to assist the 36 states and FCT in acquiring CNG buses for cheaper public transportation. Fellow Nigerians, while we are working to stabilize the economy and secure the country, particularly the
nuisance lele.
Omo, because I want to actually bust all the lies. So I am going to calm down to explain this. In as much as some of the Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alibajiris, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all risers, the bastards, the bat idiots, and the entire clan of, Buhari idiots, so to say, would want all those things to be true. And normal, they make me vex that you have a country of 200 million people, and these guys have the audacity to lie, barefaced lies to you. And there is no one single media house in Nigeria right now doing what is called fact-checking. You see all these things that Tinubu said in that speech, if to say they were true, I swear, your life will be better today than what it is right now. If just maybe, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I picked up about 8 foolish lies. Out of that 8, if 4 of them, if they were true, even me, Mayegun, I will find it difficult to criticize that criminal. But because Nigeria is such a useless place that these guys have made it. There is no single media house in Nigeria. They are looking to all their speech and begin to fact check them. Fact check them, which means to punch out all the lies. Not a single one. They were all riding. They were creating different headlines in Nigeria right now. Different headlines. Just because Tinubu said it. If they have 4 of them to be true, your lives will be better than what it is right now. Alone. Now let's take a look at them. You remember that the reason why the UAE placed a visa ban on Nigeria was because the airline from their country, among other countries too, with other countries, the one from their own country, they were among the people that, despite doing business in Nigeria, okay, and they put their money in Nigerian banks, when it was time for them to take their money to their country, which was supposed to be in dollars, the Central Bank of Nigeria, under Bokohari, they've stolen the money. So they started offering to pay them in Naira. And they were like, no, that's not the agreement, bilateral agreement we signed. We've paid you your taxes. We've paid everything that we're supposed to pay in your country. This is our profit. The total money hold these airlines was put at $10 billion. So Bokohari, Emefiole, they've looted the money. They couldn't find liquid cash, dollars, to pay them. So they started playing them. When the UAE couldn't take it anymore, they placed a visa ban on Nigeria and Nigerians as a means of pressuring your government to pay them. Bokohari ensured that they didn't pay it. So when Tinubu came, he went to Dubai to go and meet them and said, we will pay you. And they said, yeah, pay us, then we'll lift the ban. That same day, Akuri Nigelaila told you that Dubai has lifted the visa ban. Remember last year? That ended up as a lie. So they now said, Wale Idun, Cardo B, and the rest of them, they said they will meet with all these airlines and strike a deal. By then, Nigeria Naira has been floated by Tinubu. At the time, Nigeria Naira was like almost 1,900 Naira to $1. So it was worse. So what did Tinubu offer them? They said they will pay them the money, but it will be paid to them at the exchange rate of when the money was owed under Tinubu. Officially, it was 400 Naira or 410 Naira to $1. So if they accepted that deal, these people will lose about 60% of their money, which means at the end of the day, Nigeria won't pay $10 billion. Okay? Nigeria will pay somewhere around $3 billion to $4 billion. So the airlines will lose most of their money. And they said no. Also, because Nigeria Naira has crumbled, when they hold them their money, it was somewhere around 4 trillion Naira. Since Nigeria Naira don't crash, the money has now jumped to almost over 15 trillion Naira. So Nigeria will need to go and get 15 trillion Naira. Then go and look for where to buy dollars and pay them. So from 4 trillion, the money has jumped to over 15 trillion because of the destroyed Naira. So they now started negotiation. Some airlines said, you know what, we won't take it, we won't take the 400. Make it 1,000 Naira to $1. Even though you can't make it 1,500, okay, make it 1,000. So in the process, some of the airlines agreed to take the exchange rate of 1,000 Naira or so, which means Nigeria could pay them at that exchange rate. So that simply put said, in total, $1.2 billion was agreed with those ones. Immediately, Tinubu's people, they went to the media. They said, Tinubu has cleared all the backlog because of the ones who have agreed. So those ones who didn't agree, Tinubu and his people said, their papers get pure. So Nigeria is not paying them. We can't pay the money. We don't have a valid document. But these ones who have verified their money, that's what they told me. They said the ones that have verified their money, Tinubu was ready to pay them. So that one came to $1.2 billion. Remember, these were the ones who agreed to cut their losses and just get paid whatever they want to pay. Just cut your losses. The big one, the biggest one, like the Emirates airline. No. We would rather be paid in that dollars, or we will not be paid at all. That's why they have been playing hide and seek on whether Dubai will lift the visa or Dubai will not lift the visa. We lift the visa halfway or lift it up. You know what I mean? But Tinubu and his gang, they went on to write and say they have cleared $7 billion. That is what Tinubu repeated in that statement, which is a lie. That's number one. Number two, ways and means. When Bokohari in 8 years printed 27.5 trillion naira, equivalent in dollars at the time, or the exchange rate of that time, $50.6 billion. That's the value of that 27.5 trillion. Nobody knows what Bokohari and the state governors use the money for. Gone. 8 years. But within 12 months of Tinubu, he has printed over 15 trillion naira. It is called ways and means, which has further contributed to your hyperinflation in Nigeria. More money, less goods. More naira, chasing less goods. Hyperinflation, which is what you have in Nigeria today. In 1 year, Tinubu printed over 15 trillion. Cardo B printed over 15 trillion naira. Gave it to Tinubu. And that was shared as state monthly allocation to all the states in Nigeria, like Bokohari did, because NNPC no dey remit money anymore. NNPC that was supposed to be selling your crude oil remit money in dollars. The money has half of what they would probably even have gotten from the sale of crude oil. Bokohari don't use them to borrow money, which means the future oil prospect or oil exploration in Nigeria, they don't use them borrow money. So even if they sell crude oil, the money is not coming to Nigeria. It goes straight to the debtors. I've been creditors. I've basically record them. So to cover the gap, they were printing money. Now, Odudu Emefiole told us, he lied though, he told us that between 2015 and 2024, they have printed over 54 trillion naira, which simply means so far so good though, they've printed more than 27 trillion naira in 16 months of Tinubu. And the money is right there inside your economy. But people said it's even more than that. That the money that is in your circulation right now is over 100 trillion naira. The whole economy and the goods in your economy is not up to that money, which means more money chasing small goods. And that is why you see a bag of rice that used to be 7,500 naira. It's now 120,000 naira. Yet, the rice self no day. So, but Tinubu now said in that speech, said they have cleared the 30 trillion naira Bokohari printed. How? What did you do to clear it? Where did you get the money from? What did you sell? Where did you make the money? Central Bank, can you show us the evidence that Tinubu paid you back that money? The ways and means. There is no evidence. Because what they have done is cancel them. Just cancel it. Just cancel it that we have paid. We are the government. How can government be owing government? Just say it's paid. And they put them inside speech. Tinubu read that out. When people who are supposed to be economists in that country, who are supposed to know the implication of that, they are keeping quiet because they know it's a lie. But for Tinubu to look good, imagine if to say they make money somewhere, they make 30 trillion naira that they actually paid back to the central bank. Truly, Do you think your economy will be in that situation? Another one. Tinubu said he has attracted $30 billion investment to Nigeria in the last 16 months. Do you know how much is $30 billion? But they can't really tell you where in your sector of economy that 30 billion don't enter Nigeria. Should that Nigeria look like a place where $30 billion has been invested in? Should be Nadia you they live? Where did they invest the money? Who are the investors? Where? That's another lie. Here is another one. They say foreign reserve of Nigeria is now $37 billion. That's a lie. When Bokohari was living, he used the the foreign reserve of Nigeria, which was at the time 30.5 or so billion dollars. 20 billion of that money is a collateral of money that nobody even know what Bokohari used the money for. Chevy Morgan Chase, that gave money to Emefiole and Co. under Bokohari. When they said that they use your foreign reserve as a collateral, that if tomorrow Nigeria failed to service that loan or pay it, start paying it back as it was supposed to be, this Chevy Morgan Chase can just go to the World Bank and just take about $25 billion from your money, and that is it. Kurofo is what is left. The NNPC in Nigeria is so broke, that they are no longer making any money from crude oil anymore. That they had to go to the Afrexim Bank in September 2023 to go and borrow $3.3 billion using the crude oil of 167 million barrels of crude oil as collateral if Nigeria don't pay that money back in 5 years. Do you know that? People will not get any money, will not remit any money. They can't show to you how much NNPC is making every month anymore. They can't show you how much they are remitting anymore. But they don't cook the book. Nobody is going to fact check them. Nobody is fact checking them. They say now the foreign reserve is 37 billion. From what? From selling lies. Or what? What do you think they are selling? You just believe that Nigeria don't get extra more money. They don't add more money to it. That's another lie. Here is another one. They said they have killed over 300 terrorists, Boko Haram leaders. And thousands of people have returned back to the hundreds of thousands of communities. If people have truly returned to their communities, that means farmers too have returned. Why is he now promising you that farmers will return home and very soon they will be planting? And the food production will increase. When you said in that same speech that people have already returned home, but in another breath, they will be returning home soon. If you don't kill the terrorists that have chased them away from their communities, why are you promising that people will return home later when they are still some of them are still in the bush, IDP camps all over the place? Another lie. He said they approved to assemble 2,000 tractors that will be given to Nigerians. 2,000 have been assembled. Have you seen any tractors assembled by these guys? Do you have evidence of anybody or anywhere, any state that have received any tractors from them? Lies. CNG, compressed natural gas. That is what he said he is going to use in boosting transportation so that it will be cheaper. So if you cannot afford the petroleum price, which is now like 1,002, 1,005, 2,000 naira per liter, you can go and convert your car to CNG. They go put them for your park. It's cheaper. But do you know the truth? Out of the entire 36 states of Nigeria, they only have their CNG nonsense place. They only have just 15. Listen, 15 conversion places. And they only have them in Lagos and Abuja. Out of 36 states, they have it in just one single state. And the FCT. So how is that going to help reduce the cost of transportation? Lies. There are more. I will let him finish. Here is another set, or the concluding part.
While we are working to stabilize the economy and secure the country, we also seek to foster national unity and build social harmony and cohesion. Our economy can only thrive when there is peace. As we work to overcome the challenges of the day, we remain mindful of next generation as we seek to galvanize their creative energy towards a better future. We lead today with the future we wish to bequeath to our children in focus, recognizing that we cannot design a future that belongs to them without making them its architects. Considering this, I am pleased to announce the gathering of a national youth conference. This conference will be a platform to address the diverse challenges and opportunities confronting our young people, who constitute more than 60% of our population. It will provoke meaningful dialogue and empower our young people to participate actively in nation building by ensuring that their voices are heard in shaping the policies that impact their lives. We are creating a pathway for a brighter tomorrow. The 30-day confab will unite young people nationwide to collaboratively develop solutions to issues such as education, employment, innovation, security, and social justice. The modality of this confab and selection of delegates will be designed in close consultation with our young people through their representatives. Through this confab, it will be our job as leaders to ensure that their aspirations are at the heart of the conference deliberations. The government will thoroughly consider and implement the recommendations and outcomes from this forum as we remain resolute to build a more inclusive, prosperous, and united Nigeria. Our government is implementing several other youth-centric programs to give our young people an advantage in rapid changing world. We are implementing, among others, the 3 million technical program of the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, aimed at building Nigeria's technical talent backbone. We have also enthusiastically implemented the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, which provides cheap loans to our students to pursue their tertiary educational dream. In addition, later this month, we shall launch the Renewable Hope Labor Employment and Empowerment, the LEAP. It is conceived as a comprehensive suite of interventions and job creation by Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment that is aimed at facilitating the creation of 2.5 million jobs directly and indirectly on an annual incremental basis, while simultaneously ensuring the welfare and safety of workers across the country, as is the tradition. The government will soon announce all the beneficiaries of our national honors for 2024. The Senate President and the Chief Justice of the Federation have been conferred with the honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. The Deputy Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives have honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR, while the Deputy Speaker of the House has been awarded Commander of the Order of Niger, CON. Fellow Nigerians, better days are ahead of us. The challenge of the moment must always make us believe in ourselves. We are Nigerians, resilient and tenacious. We always prevail and rise above our circumstances. I urge you to believe in our nation's promise. The road ahead may be challenging, but we will forge a path towards a brighter future with your support. Together, we will cultivate a Nigeria that reflects the aspiration of all its citizens, a nation that resonates with pride, dignity, and shared success. As agents of change, we can shape our destiny and build a brighter future by ourselves, for ourselves, and future generations. Please join us and join our administration in this journey towards a brighter future. Let us work together to build a greater Nigeria where every citizen can access opportunities and every child can grow up with hope and promise. May God continue to bless our nation and keep members of our armed forces safe. Happy Independence Anniversary, fellow Nigerians.
Nuisance lele.
That's the speech. And everyone can just go and hope on the renewed hope. Now I have been corrected that there is, or there are more CNG places, CNG in more than just 2 states now. So you have them in Benin, you have them in Ibadan. But there is something you also need to know. CNG simply means where you can convert your car or your vehicle to compressed gas, compressed natural gas. You won't use petrol or diesel. All right. So it was supposed to actually be something you should have like thousands. I'm talking about like you have the filling stations, right? Conversion areas with the level of hardship that you are currently experiencing, so to say. So it should have been, if you have a government, the government is rolling something out, okay? It should be, what should exist in 36 states of that country? 36, all of them should have it. And nothing less than maybe 200 per state. When I say 200, I'm talking about where you have them at, almost every location, but not every location. But you have a situation whereby, people will just say, yeah, there is one at Yanomapo. There's another one at Challenge. So if you can't get, if it's too busy in Yanomapo, go to Challenge. If it's not too busy, if it's too busy in Ikeja, go to Baga. I say, but what about us in Akure? They say, you go to, anyway, Tinubu and his gang, they are organizing National Youth Conference. So all of the younger people who have become, most of them have become the victims of his failed policies and the ruined country, right? They would likely just go and fight for a place because they will pay you money for 30 days. You are going to be housed somewhere in Abuja. They will put you in a hotel. They will pay you money every day. Instead of you joining the protest, demanding that what they promised you that they had for you, the Nigeria they said they will fix. Let them start implementing that policy that will change your life. They say, now you make you come tell them how they should do it. That's the bottom line now. They want you to come and tell them, how do you think they can help you? So Kukoya, come and sit together and deliberate and give us idea. And guess what this guy said? On a channel's television yesterday, said, Bokohari did not do anything for 8 years because Bokohari was busy fixing the rot caused by PDP in 16 years. Man, I feel like I should have this spiritual ring where I think give somebody spiritual slap. Like, as you are watching me right now, I'm like, my hand will just come out of your screen. I go find Koolu. Yeah. Mayegun, why did you knock me? I wish that when I was watching this guy on channels yesterday, I felt like I should have something that would my hand would just stretch, enter the studio of channels television. I would just be like, ko. Because I didn't knock Johnny. But I don't get that ring. I don't get that power. Sure you get. Because that's exactly how I felt. It is cringy. It is insulting. It is like insulting your intelligence or something. But they have their audience. 8 years of disastrous and murderous Bokohari's time. The ones that Tinubu said is what is making it difficult for him to help you now. They were able to have money. They've borrowed enough. They were able to have money to buy yacht. Able to have money to give to Remi rats. They had money. That's money for her office. She was able to get more than $700 million. Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right. $700 million for her traveling up and down her office in just 6 months. Crazy, yeah? Not just that. She got over 40 billion naira just to get cars for the office of First Lady. Bajabi Amole got 10 billion naira just to buy computers for his own office as a chief of staff to Tinubu. Werewike was able to spend 21 billion naira to build a palatial mansion for Shitty Man. Akpabiole now will be honored with GCON, Grand Commander of the Order of Niger. GCON. Kekere Ole Agbekun abi Kekere Ekun Agbaole. Your Chief Justice, she too will get GCON. Now you have all the criminals who have captured Nigeria, okay? They are being honored by the druggie himself. Not after the same National Assembly got over 260 billion naira. You heard me right? 260 billion naira from over 800 billion naira they borrowed. They were supposed to share the money to you when they said they removed subsidy. I bet you baby. Stockholm syndrome is real. Sometimes when I begin to reel out all these figures, sometimes some of you, you'll be like, Mayegun, calm down. Are these figures real? Because they suffer from Stockholm syndrome. Me, I know they forget. That's why they call me a revisionist. You know they remember. You know they forget things. How can I forget billions and billions they borrowed in your name? They borrowed the money in your name. It's not free money. They said, okay, since they didn't plan that you are going to suffer for removal of subsidy, they went on to go and borrow 1.2 trillion naira. From that money, they were supposed to give you 800 billion of it. The poor people affected. You remember that they were supposed to give you 80,000 naira for removing subsidy. Until when some of you are like, how much is 8,000 naira? What can 8,000 naira buy? I say, you better collect that like that, or you know go collect that. Okay, wait, we'll go give you another one. Wait, we'll go and rearrange it. At 8,000 naira, at 50,000 naira, everything can't turn to audio. But from money where they borrow, say they will give you for first subsidy remover. They gave 248 billion naira to the National Assembly. They removed it. They said the hardship affects all the lawmakers too. They need money to settle down. New lawmakers, new this and that. I bet it was also this in that same breath that they also gave them 59 billion naira so that they could buy themselves SUV that is worth 160 million naira each. You don't forget. I know they've looted you so much that some of you will be like, I remember. They still went on to go and pad your budget. They still padded the 2024 budget, with over 6 trillion naira for projects that doesn't exist. Una don't forget. To deep gun. But according to this Olori Buruku, 8 years that you suffered under Bokohari, it was just for Bokohari to fix the rot of 16 years of PDP.
Actually have a perspective to understand what is going on.
And I'm one person. I do a lot of policy conversation on this very desk every day. And in those 365 days of my life sitting here, there are critical issues. And as a human being, first as a human being, then a Nigerian, then a journalist, I also wear a hat to say I'm equally a father. I have responsibility to family. And I also need to be professional, be patriotic. So in analyzing these issues, one needs to also understand that, you need to give people a chance when they get into office. But the fear is this, Mr. Moka. And if you would like, I can reel out all the economic indicators. Your government got into office, and you're speaking tonight to us as though it was PDP that handed over power to an APC government about over a year ago. It was an APC-led government for 8 years, handed over to an APC government. And those who will say the Buhari government set Nigeria back by 20 years, economically speaking. Mr. Moka, our inflation rate, 34%. Food inflation, 37%. Unemployment rate. Do you know what they say? 28 years. It hasn't been that bad for some of these indicators. Mr. Moka, it's so bad that we have never seen in the life of me that our exchange rate has gone this bad. Indicators of our economy, all of it that you can think of, are in the red, in the negative. If your government or your party has been handed over a government and in 1 year it has been messed up in this much, how do you explain to the Nigerian people?
So, first of all, in your question lies the answer. Hysteria. You have just framed a question that relies on, a self-eating hysteria to provoke my answer. But I will answer you. Now, the Buhari administration did nothing in 8 years but to clean and mop up the mess and the... Oh, please, don't interrupt me. You'll get your turn.
Thank you.
To mop up the mess made by the PDP. Because, what Nigerians don't realize is that the PDP operated a phantom economy.
I thought it was the Buhari government that messed up this economy.
Please hang on. Look, you asked me a question. I'm answering you. And please listen to me. The PDP government created and operated a phantom economy where billions and billions of dollars and naira were awarded and thrown around for national, declared national projects that were never done as such. All of the monies that were simply, rolled out into private pockets. Now, don't forget, when Buhari came in, we had a moment where a lot of information, you did a lot of shows here about the scourge that the PDP had actually, inflicted on this country. Now, listen, what I'm saying is I don't like to look back. If you know, in my conversations with you, I'm a forward-looking person. But if you choose to actually ask that question and you demand an answer from me, then I will tell you that the mess that we're dealing with today was not constructed today. It was constructed generationally. And that generation, the owners and the perpetrators of the heinous, abominable crimes against this country were, manufactured, constructed, and delivered by the PDP in 16 years. So Buhari, just a moment, Buhari was simply an intervenor government that simply came to hold place and, really make sense and hold Nigeria away from the precipice. Now, the Tinubu administration has been inaugurated barely a year ago. And the Segun Showumi, my brother of this world, will not even let that government think, let alone execute programs that are meant to build upon the foundations that the Buhari administration had laid in order for Nigeria to begin to climb out of this hole that we've been sunk in for a very long time. Because there's nothing you're going to tell me, Sheung, about our problems today that were not constructed generationally. How do you explain 64 years of a country on one product selling crude oil, not done anything? That was not Buhari's fault necessarily. It wasn't Tinubu's fault necessarily.
Yeah, primarily not productive.
It is the fault of Nigeria and those who govern Nigeria before today, especially 16 years of the PDP. Look, Mr. Showumi, please calm down. You will get your turn. And when you talk, I'm going to be quiet. Because your comments are distracting me.
I've not made any comments.
No,
My gesticulation.
Your gesticulation.
Thank you.
So hold your gesticulation.
I can borrow you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My gesticulation.
But look, to come back to this conversation, the point I'm making is that, there's no such thing as a straight line in the life of a country. Families, my family, your family, my brother's family here, if and when it becomes imperative to make critical adjustments, they have to be made. Maybe I'm going to cut off some ice cream for my kids if I know I can't afford it today. Doesn't mean they will never have ice cream. They may actually begin to buy ice cream factories when the economic moment and when the opportune moment actually becomes. I am saying to you today, and let me say this before I think you take over. I will tell you that this president has begun with Nigeria to set Nigeria on a path that will. Today, I sit here and I'm going to say this. And I think that a few years from now, bring Mr. Showumi and I back here. Mr. Showumi will testify that this president will be, in the fullness of his tenure, will be about, if not the most accomplished president in the history of our country. Because he is not, like I said, kicking the can to the next president. He is saying, you know what, this problem will be solved on my watch. That's what he's doing. So all of what you're saying, the actually.
Ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún sí lálìkìyàmà ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí. Ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún sí lálìkìyàmà ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí.
Just imagine. And they're always like that. For 8 years of Bokohari, they were always on social media, on TV. Blaming PDP this, PDP that, and then they blame everyone. They blamed God. They blamed the weather. They blamed Nigerians. They blame everyone but themselves. And they were telling people to be patient. By the time Bokohari is done, it's going to be the most. But guess what today? The likes of Malamu, a thief. I don't know why they haven't arrested him. Majority of those who work with Bokohari, they were thieves. The woman, Shadia, in charge of humanitarian, the court told her to go and refund nearly 1 trillion naira she stole as a minister. Adis Erika, another criminal who stole money as aviation minister. Thieves looted Nigeria under Bokohari. They looted Nigeria like never before, like money was going out of fashion. But somebody, Felix Moka, in 2024, is saying that Bokohari was just like interceding government who tried to correct the, oh God. Now here is Cardo B, Oduduwa Emefiole. Say the people that are going to make Nigeria great for Tinubu, he was talking about the monetary this, monetary that, and how much money they have already printed. He was lying.
Yes, with the past 1 year. Now, first and foremost, we came into a very loose money supply situation. Between 2015 and 2023, the past 8 years, witnessed an incredible amount of pumping of liquidity into the system. In 2015, money supply was about 19 trillion naira. And in 2023, it was 54 trillion naira. I mean, that's a huge increase, a very, very huge increase. And a substantial amount of that, as I'm sure you all know, was through means. Okay, so essentially printing of money resulted in a huge amount of money chasing, because this is the implication, chasing the same amount of goods, a relatively small amount of goods. So I think that context is very, very, very important to have. And to put it in another way, while the economy, on average, was growing at 1.2% during that time, money supply was growing at 12.6%. Okay, so you can see the inherent distortion there. Then also, let's not forget that we had a situation where global oil prices collapsed, okay, in 2015. Okay, and with that collapse also, we shouldn't forget, unfortunately, and it's just a fact of life, that Nigeria is a monolithic economy. Okay, so you're dependent for everything on oil. And as a result of the collapse in oil prices, foreign exchange began to dwindle, and it's important to understand that within this period, the response to that was really lesser foreign exchange and fixing of foreign exchange prices. And that also harmed the economy to no end. In other words, you had a situation where the response to excess money supply, little foreign exchange available, was to fix exchange rates, okay, which now resulted in multiple exchange rates and arbitrage opportunities between one and the other, okay? And of course, this in itself resulted in a backlog of foreign exchange, because this is where all these things have come from. And sometimes people forget that this is the context in which we came into the saddle of the central bank, okay? So it's just what it is. Real sector at the time were obviously unable to access foreign exchange, and things really got difficult, and inflation continued to spike. So in that situation, we came into the saddle, and of course, a number of things happened. One of which, of course, is with the background I've given you, attempt to harmonize the multiple exchange rates, and I believe that clearly has brought about the results it has, including the fact that you no longer have these multiple windows, and including the fact that exchange rate is a lot more flexible and people are more able to transact their businesses, okay, through willing buyer, willing seller, as opposed to a situation where multiple exchange rates discourages or does not enable that to happen. So clearly that has helped in no small way. And of course, the moderation, the multiple hike in exchange rates, the multiple hike in interest rates have also helped to moderate the inflation that I spoke about earlier, have helped to moderate the inflation. Don't forget that here was a situation where exchange rate was really running at an incredible pace, and people had lost confidence in the currency, or beginning to lose confidence in the currency. So we believe that these multiple hikes have helped for people to now begin.
Here is a paper cut on this matter, even though this liar is talking about 54 trillion or something. Meanwhile, in the circulation in Nigeria, because of how much these guys have printed in the last 16 months alone, they said that right now in Nigeria, you now have nearly 100 trillion naira cash circulating in your economy as at May. This is October. 5 months ago, God knows how much they have printed again as we speak. So if you think exposing these criminals, if you think wishes can actually fix Nigeria, you can dream on. Your shege is just starting. And there's no amount of dogo to renshi, word salad, that is going to actually take that away, except real action. If they begin to actually take real action, real economic policies, and they can't. You know that the World Bank just gave them another they just approved another $1.5 billion loan. There are conditions that come with such money. And you get to see that later soon. Your money, Naira, will be floated again, devalued further. And then you can begin to look forward to maybe 2,000 Naira to $1 soon. As for these guys, those are the investors they are talking about. Borrowed money with monetary compromise, where IMF, World Bank continue to compromise your monetary policies. And they can continue to promise you what will never happen. So today, those who know better, they have started their fearless in October. Yeah, it started from Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan, Oyo State, Akure in Ondo State, Port Harcourt in Rivers State, and a few other places. So this is going to be the part one of what is going down today, including Jos, Plateau State, by the way. So let's go and see how it all went this morning across Nigeria, where people are saying they are hungry. They're not going to chop English. They're not going to chop all these cooked up lies. If you are actually working, people will feel it. Maybe you go tell them, say, they should wait for your reform. What reform? The reform that you are reforming the lives of your family members, the lives of your appointees and the rest of them. Those are the only lives you are changing. The other lives you are destroying are the lives of millions of people, including the lives of those who are supposed to be the APC, Egbekegbe supporters. If you are an APC, Egbekegbe, watching me right now, I'm not your enemy. I know you don't like me, I don't like you too. Sure you get, we know that one clearly, Rabbi. People where they support Tinubu or support APC, they don't like me. Me self not like them. We know they pretend. It's just that once in a while, when I go come bring your Oribruku here, they ask me stupid questions as if to say, you actually care about what I want to say or not. We don't like ourselves. Let's keep it that way. You understand now? So no con here, they try to tell me, say, you need to listen to your supporters. I know my supporters. I know my dear Templars. My Templars here, they know the truth. They don't ask me stupid questions. They don't ask me to give them solution to Nigeria problem because they know that the only solution to Nigeria problem is to break the hell up. Break it up. So if you come here, can't they ask me for one stupid thing like, it's not, let us suggest solution. There is no genuine member of Mayegun's Diary Politico that will pick up his or her phone and type, Mayegun, you should give us solution. Now you already bruku close at APC. Now they come here, they ask me for solution. Ibala berenye, love and kiss. You don't like me, I don't like you. Keep it. You get? So, every day, even, tabatu kugon, atuma continue anyway, tabati padirawa. We no go set you. So let's keep it that way. You don't like me, I don't like you. But if you are here to know the truth, so that at least, if they are lying to you, I will be helping you to understand what is coming your way. So the fearless fearless in October, the verse 2 of phase 2 of end bad governance in Nigeria kicked off today. Sowore was there or still there. And according to them, it is going to be non-stop. This is day 1. And they are not counting this until Tinubu actually acts. But now that Tinubu don't tell them, say, in one do national conference, let's go back to that streets. How was it today? Across Nigeria. I have all the join videos from everywhere. So it's going to be a long watch. So your own enjoyment, right? Let's go there.
We are hungry. We are hungry. We are hungry. We are hungry. We are hungry.
We are tired, we are hungry. What are we saying? 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 Hello, Nigeria. What are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? Why are we going to keep quiet? The Nigerian government wants to repress, suppress, oppress the Nigerian people to the point that they become so scared of expressing their fundamental rights. They want to press all voices of dissent. But Nigerians today are letting the government know by our action here that our voices can never be silenced. If the government is as irresponsible as it has brought us this low, the government should not expect us to keep quiet in our penury, our suffering, insecurity, bad leadership in every sector, bad healthcare system, bad educational system. Yaya Bello is stealing from one side, Emefiele is stealing from one side, Tinubu has a refinery somewhere. They are all doing us gimmicks. The bag of rice now is about 100,000 naira. Yes, we are buying fuel over 1,000 naira. And you say it's not enough to come out and express our grievance? No. What are we saying? We are hungry. What are we saying? We are hungry. What are we saying? We are hungry. We are hungry. We are hungry. Shame on you.
Yeah, liberation is being poured here live at Keja.
Shame on you. Shame on you. And I shame on you.
Live here in Keja, Nigerians have reached against
Nigerian people.
Bad governance protest live at Keja.
Nigerian people.
Life is happening here in Keja.
Let's be orderly.
Live here in Keja.
Today is our day.
Take
our national anthem now. After that, I will hand over the microphone to Comrade Sowore, and he will do the moderation for round. Please stand. Attention. No more movement. No more movement. Arise, oh patriots, Nigeria's follow me to serve our father's land with love and strength and faith. Salvation of heroes shall never be in vain. To serve with our mind, one nation bound in freedom is our
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Tinubu,
We are here live one try protesters for treason.
Independence Day
protest. Say we go protest, then na treason we dey commit.
Nigerians are here again saying an end to bad governance. Nigerians have come out today, October 1, Independence Day.
Now something else they worry am.
Say that enough is enough of bad governance. Nigerians are tired of suffering. They are saying the fuel prices needs to be reversed. Nigerians are saying enough is enough. Life here at Ikeja, Lagos, and bad governance, protest, survivor.
If protesting, not teasing, maybe we go try Tinubu first. I mean, not the reason now.
We are here live.
I mean, now Tinubu is supposed to try first now.
We are here live.
Because even himself, he do protest.
Nigerians are saying the hunger.
Tinubu government, but they talk say people they sponsor protest. They sponsor people. Why are people sponsoring protest?
Yes, the security people are here, the police command, police people, and other security forces are also on ground to make sure that everything goes well. You can see behind me is the Lagos Police Command, and they are here on ground to make sure that the protest goes peacefully, and that there will be no breakdown of law and order. So the protest here in Lagos has resumed. End bad governance protest, October 1, Day of Survivor. Live at Ikeja here, under bridge, Bokohari Road. Pressmen are also here, the journalists are also here. Nigerians are saying and speaking with one voice that enough is enough, an end to bad governance. That is the message. The cost of living, the high fuel prices.
This is high time here like in October.
You suppose come here, come join us. Come and join us at this protest. No, the grounds of this protest are clear. No violence. No push person. If person push you, no report. No fight. Even if police slap you, no allow them make them provoke you. No know that what they do for August. When they attack us, they want them to respond. Know that they will get opportunity to do what they want to. We know to give them that chance. But anything what they do, we go to record them. Not be fair. Thank God this. Where we say the people will come.
Time go reach. Where monkey go market. A monkey no go come back. That time, make it reach. Oh. That's from the streets, ladies and gentlemen. There is more. Of course, now there is more from where that I came from. Let's go through it again. Back to the streets. For Nigerians who have rejected bad governance, calling the attention of those who are supposed to be their leaders to have a common sense, it is still peaceful now. If you know be peaceful again, oh.
Yes, when you talk that time, just this. So I just want to beg you, as we go for August, let me say for 10 days, nothing no katakata, and one today. And your leaders was listening to them. I can tell you something that is not for you. You may be on the left, but the time is not for stop. You can hear me. If I say stop, you must stop. Because you get what you see. When they say stop. The leadership is not.
This is our court. This is the people's court. This is the people's assembly. And what we do here today, we are trying Tinubu for treason. And Tinubu on the street is being tried for treason against 200 million people of Nigeria. Not be so. And of the greatest Nigeria people. You can't do maybe talk. If I say Mr. John to talk too much. And
àwọn ìjọba wọ̀nyí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Greatest gbẹ̀gbà. Now we get today. No be so. 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 If you not say now we get today, say yeah. If you not say now we get today, say yeah. You know what happen? As I get here, I may be the Senate president. I may be the real Fabio. The real one. Now, Nigerian people, if you know you are hungry, say yes. Yes, Nigerian people. Evacuations, Nigerian people. Nigerian people. Greatest Bosa. Greatest Bagba. Greatest Batagoto. Please, today is the National Day of Survivor. Join me in the chorus as we go. Oya oya elewola. Oya oya elewola.
We are here today not to celebrate because we have nothing to celebrate as far as Nigeria is concerned. This morning I coined Nigeria to be a giant living in the body of dwarf. Why? Because everything that's supposed to make us great has been subdued by the oppressors. Have been, made mess up by the leaders are supposed to be a leader according to the biblical injunction, Proverbs 29 verse 2, that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked in power, the people mourn. Today we are money, so we don't need to describe those that are in power. We know according to the Bible, if they want to fight, don't fight me. Go and fight God that wrote the Bible. We are money in every area and facet of Nigerians' life. They are money. They can no longer buy food. They can no longer buy fuel. They can no longer eat well. Neither can they even send their children to school. The people that are celebrating today, quote me, are the people that we are feeding for free, the people that we are buying fuel for free, the people that we bought car for free, the people that they travel for free and still collect extra code for traveling. Those are the people that live in Abuja, in Aso Rock, in National Assembly. Those are the people that may be celebrating. But for all the common man, the common masses that doesn't even know what to eat next after leaving this place, they are not celebrating. We are money. And that is why the biblical injunction that I quoted earlier on is a prefix to the names of whoever, either governor, either the president, either ministers, either National Assembly members. It is the people that are wicked that make the people more. So we are mourning the 64 years of Nigeria. We look at Nigeria, there is no progress. The progress they are making is in their imagination. As much as their hand balance ring down, then they are making progress. But when we look at the Nigerian in general, when we look at what we are going through, then we are not making progress. Because as of today, we see our potholes everywhere. Even in a mega city, quote and unquote, like Lagos, we see our potholes. We see our places that does not have power supply. Imagine in Nigeria, they claim we are making progress. There are people in Nigeria, Lagos State as a mega city provide, that are getting 4 hours light per day. That is Nigeria, where the government will claim that we are making progress. All these things I saw me together, and I discovered that we are not making any progress. And so it is incumbent on every Nigerian to know that the oppressor cannot dictate how the oppressed feel free themselves. Therefore, whatever you are doing, whatever and wherever you are, I know very well that one of the things that will not make you rejoicing or celebrating Nigeria is because you don't even have what to eat. You don't even know where the next food will come from. You don't even know how to pay your children's school fees. And at the end of the day, you don't even know what will become the end of you, because we have seen people falling down, dying, just because they are carrying the problem of their family on their head, because there is no solution. And to crown it all, the government is not providing any solution. They are only providing for their pocket. Every policy they make, since they come into power, they have been making it to line their pocket. Everyone. That is why the president will claim that we will turn it around, and Nigeria is poor, yet he's buying jet worth $2.5 billion. He's claiming Nigeria is poor. He's apportioning $1.5 billion for his wife car. I wonder, Senator Tinubu was a senator for 3 consecutive sessions. What kind of car has she not drive? The same government that said Nigeria is poor, they bought a Maybach Mitsubishi car, custom made for the president at the rate of $950 billion, and they claim Nigerians are poor. They claim Nigeria is poor. They approved 360 SUV for the House of Reps at the rate of $160 million per one. Nigeria is poor. Anyone that says Nigeria is poor.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it.
Let be poor, breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Right now, the only thing that is free is that breath that you have in you. And that too will soon be subjected to Tinubu said tax. Finally, from the collection of what we picked from the streets this morning, a lot has happened though. They've shot tear gas at them. They have shot at people who are protesting in Abuja. And then, yeah, that too. I'm going to bring them back later this evening. But here we have Sowore's statement where he is indeed calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And not just that, he's leading a section of the protest too, right here in Lagos. This is one. There's another one after this.
The one that said Nigeria is for
the looters, the corrupt guys, both in the oil sector or whatever sector they may be. Our own independence starts now. Because the independence we got in 1960, they struggled for it. We are struggling for a new independence. And it is part of the continuation of what we started in 2019 with revolution now. Because we believe that only revolution can save this country. Revolution now! They have probably been arrested, and work is in progress, and part of what we're asking them is to release them today. Everybody has been detained, whether it's in Kaduna, in Abuja, Katsina, or Kanu. The federal government is ordered to release them today. If by the end of the day today they don't release all the detained, end bad governance, and end SARS people, some of the end SARS in 2020, we will tell you the next plan of action. Thank you. Are you doing census?
Well, Nigerians are here today to celebrate their survival against the massive onslaught of anti-poor policies that this government has wrought on them since its emergence. Nigerians are here to say that despite celebrating 64 years of independence, there is nothing independent about the people that cannot feed, nothing independent about the people that cannot go to school, nothing independent about the people whose security is not assured. So Nigerians are here to make their grievances known to the government. Nigerians are also here to say that there is nothing independent about citizens who cannot speak freely without being charged for treason or say their minds without getting arrested and kidnapped by the government. So Nigerians are here to denounce all anti-poor policies of the government, to denounce the wicked policies and pattern of the government to kidnap poor young people struggling for their lives, surviving under everything that has been put against them. Nigerians are here to say that it is not fair, and this government must divorce itself from every policy that it has brought in place so far to ravish Nigerians, to wreck them to the barest minimum. We are saying that we can no longer tolerate it. And when people are pushed to the wall, one day something has to give way, and the government has to take notice. This is a notice on the Nigerian government that one day its time will come. This is the 64th anniversary of the country, but there's nothing to celebrate. The government can do well by going back and looking into its drawing book and seeing everywhere it has gone wrong and begin to make things right. First, the government must begin to rethink the wicked removal of fuel subsidy that has done nothing but to reduce the living conditions of Nigeria to minimum. Many young people have had to quit their jobs because they can no longer afford to pay expensive transport to work. They can no longer go to work and receive little salary for nothing. Many young people have had to live under the stressful conditions, sell their bodies because they can no longer afford to live under such conditions that have reduce them to nothing. The government must remove fuel subsidy. The government must also rethink the student loan that it has brought to people and say that that's the panacea for the education system in Nigeria. The student loan is no panacea. Nigerian students do not need loan. Nigerian students need grants for them to go to school. An interview conducted across schools in country show that people are not even taking the loan. Well, people are taking the loan, but so many people are not taking the loan because they are afraid of receiving loans that they cannot pay in future where jobs are not guaranteed for them. So Nigerian students do not want loan. Nigerian students need grants for them to be able to go to school. Nigeria needs the government to be honest about what it is doing with the refineries. This is a capitalist system that has done nothing but take and accumulate all the wealth and resources of this country for itself, without the benefit of the poor. So we must get our refineries working and show the people that we can be honest and government can work for the people.
experiencing this level of lawlessness by the law enforcement agents, Nigeria cannot claim to be an independent. Hey! Let's go, let's go. Don't move. Are you making me? They have started shooting us tear gas. They are trying to disperse us. Don't move, comrades, don't move. Don't move, comrades, don't move. What's happening? Rob, my bag. Guy, come, open this my bag. Rob, my bag. No, Rob, for out. Look at them. Sorry, I really don't stop. The kind of repression we're talking about in our country. The last time they spent $45 million to quell the protest of August 1st. Only God knows how many $1 million they spent this time around. They will not go and fight bandits. They will not go and fight headsmen that are killing people. But they always have to show force on protesters. Nigerians, if you don't wise up, time will pass. This government doesn't give a hoot about us. And it is high time we bond together in our millions and let this 1% know that this country is all of ours and not somebody's own.
The one that said Nigeria is for.
They started shooting at them. They have. Just because I've got these loads of stuff I want to unload this afternoon. So I'm just going to give you the final part from the streets this morning. Then I'm going to come back later this evening to share with us how it all went down. Holy, the second part, right? Here, Sowore.
Let's first of all get your thoughts, on the president's speech.
Meanwhile, this part of this clip is for those who are reacting to Tinubu's speech. That's the first one. The other part is back on the streets.
Let's first of all get your thoughts, on the president's speech.
Well, it was high on rhetorics, less on substance. There's no clear-cut indication to address the critical issues we are facing. I think what the president focused more was on what they have achieved in terms of cost-cutting measures and what they have added to the national reserve from 33 billion to 37 billion and clearing the debts without focusing more on the hardship that Nigerians have gone through in the last 16 months and what steps are being taken by the government to address particularly the issue of high cost of living, the high cost of energy, and the rest of it. So I think it's more like promises other than the actual programs that have been detailed out to be done in the next 1 year. That's the way.
Didn't it sound like detailing what we have achieved so far in the 16 months of the administration, and putting that as a reminder to Nigerians that we are taking steps in the right direction? Didn't you get that sense of that?
Well, the president said that we have achieved peace. I challenged the president to travel throughout Nigeria without the security agents. I've said it over time. For the speaker, for the chief of staff to leave Abuja and come to Lagos and travel through the road, not by air, and then, or for the vice president to go to Borno via road, not to the air, and see whether we have the relative peace they are talking about. And there's no doubt that the challenges we are having with respect to high cost of living, high cost of food, and the rest of it is tied to insecurity, because farmers can't go to farm. Is it safe for farmers to go to farm? Those are questions that we need to ask ourselves. And the reality of what an average Nigeria is experiencing is different from what the president is experiencing. The president is within the cocoon of Aso Rock and his foreign travels. But the reality on ground does not measure up with what he is saying with respect to peace. And for peace to be in place, people must have the confidence and the trust that, okay, that peace is in place for me to travel. But before coming on set, I had conversation with 2 or 3 people talking about road travels and said, I can never travel on the road to so place and so place. A friend of mine traveled to Kogi State for a burial of his professor's mother, and he came back, he said his heart was in his mouth throughout the journey. And so it's the reality on ground does not measure up with what the president is saying. That's my candidate.
There is victory. Marching forward, forward. Marching forward, backward. Never. In the struggle for Nigeria, there is victory. And then we close. Reverse subsidy removal now. Reverse subsidy removal now. Reverse subsidy removal. Removing the right manner.
Everybody that's in detention, illegally, who have been charged with false criminal offences, including treason, which carries the death penalty, must be released immediately. And it does also extends to Nnamdi Kanu, who we believe is being persecuted by the Nigerian state because he has expressed the desire of his people to secede from Nigeria. They have a right to either stay or leave Nigeria. Our preference is that we will completely never prevent anybody from exercising their right to either stay or be in Nigeria.
Let us look at the retreat that is holding in Kanu, where northern senators vehemently rejected anything that has to do with true federalism. And their southern counterparts are the view that true federalism is the way to go. Particularly Senator Abundingi.
Part of our struggle is to eliminate all the senators we are talking about. By eliminating the Senate, all the House of Representatives. Are you getting my point? So you can't be asking me how they feel. We are here to represent the people who want liberation and who want new independence, not parts of the old system. We are not here. Yes.
Nobody can intimidate us. Anything we want to happen today, Nigerian people must split, must march on the street in an orderly and a peaceful manner.
We don't believe in participating or encouraging any other jamboree. We are not part of that. We are not going to any youth forum or any youth confab. We want the Nigerian people to create their own constitution and for the constitution to go through a referendum and to become the new basis for relationship amongst Nigerians.
Talk to us about the hope of our electoral system.
We can't cherry pick now. We have a problem that we have 15 solid demands, and electoral reform is part of it. But we are not looking for electoral reform. We are looking for an overhaul of this country. Electoral reform cannot solve our problem. Yes, thank you.
The next one, make I shout hallelujah, make I shout amen. But not be Christian.
Like it or not, let him go to God. We are ready to face him. This protest has come to stay. After today, we are still going to announce another day before December. This protest.
Let's first of all get
interesting. Thank you very much, Nwokike Emmanuel. God bless you, man. Thank you. Yes, you can support my channel by buying me a cup of coffee through that link. A cup of coffee is $5. And indeed, you can buy me 1, 2, 300. It depends, right? but for every penny, I am grateful. So thank you to all of you. And then going forward, just an extra. Yesterday, the news that broke that Oples Uzodinjo was planning or had agreed with the agent of darkness from the federal government of Nigeria or Fulani government of Nigeria to bring those they called the IDP from northern Nigeria to Imo State. People reacted, including the reaction that followed also included that of a supposed senator. I think his name is called Frank Ibezim. The man, they said, was pretty much behind the whole operation after Oples Uzodimgba. They plan to use an open university complex in Imo State. So people got the wind of it and it escalated quickly. First, before we go to that, a member of the Igbo nation, Biafra, sent a warning. Don't bring this. It's unheard of. All right? The news was actually broadcasted on the TVC, where they said to relocate these northern refugees, the victims of Boko Haram terrorism, and on, to relocate and then train them in Imo State. Oples Uzodimgba came out later to say it was fake news, but fake news, something that was pretty much heard on the TVC, and the whole world saw it. But when people reacted, they said it was fake news, but it was too late, as the reaction of people destroyed the place they wanted to use. A young man said this, like the one I played to you yesterday, these two.
I want to react to Senator Ned Nwoko's statements I heard directly from him. That, to quote him, if you think Simon Ekpa is the one making orders for the sit at home in the Southeast, or giving orders for the killings of people in the Southeast, then let's negotiate or discuss with him. I want to let that senator know, Senator Ned Nwoko, with due respect, that yes, Simon Ekpa is the one giving orders for the sit at home in the entire Southeast. And all of us, born Biafrans or wherever you reside in Biafran territory, everyone must abide by that sit at home. If you have foreheads, do not abide by it. Or if you think that you are an extraordinary human being, not from this earth, you live in oblivion or whatsoever, don't abide by it, and then you would see what the spirits do with the feathers of a fowl.
And on that. However, the reaction that followed last night was pretty much more like fire. So this happened last night.
The northern people. Before I'm going to northern, Biko, Frank Ibezim, Gena Mekawajoba, Biko. I saw more. I saw bloodshed because and you watch him again. Baliana, you got mad that now everywhere this red now, and the northern people kwano ono biakwana be holo no hono ono ewere because one year ga say na lekwe him again the one na ga ejiwa around here because of issue ya ka opi wechi na one nature sekwa na lekwekwa ihe umu igbo men maka e watch here na ihe meganye na ko obodo wedem ma because I saw ndị ugwu na Boko Haram. And the how kwano igere Enugu State iga ha cha water herdsmen gbu ndị mmadụ anchọ ha nya wopo university aso school he ji were confuse anyị later na abịa say na owo ihe ndị camp na owo refugee camp because anchọ ha ya because today's date was 30th. Okay, yeah, first of October 2024 because
Emeka Majuba. Yeah, you tell him I na liba ya de ma. So de ma do to hedge start ever nina. Because I had on the Awusa and the Yoruba man on that na wundi Igbo. I had on her. So I imagine a break again now. Oh, Biafra I told Nigeria. Because then I Biafra I went on wine.
So, look at
The Open University, burning. They have set Open University on fire. They have set the Open University on fire. This thing is right now the fire is on. The place is burning down. I'm taking this video from the Cathedral Church.
So simply put, the supposed place that they wanted to train the ID, who actually brought that kind of idea in the first place? Like the tension that you've already had in the eastern part of Nigeria, which is so prevalent. Why would anyone even make that suggestion at this point? Like, why would you want to put the lives of supposedly victims of Boko Haram, put their lives in danger by relocating them to a place that they were never wanted? What are you trying to do? Now, from what we gathered, there were so many actions that took place last night, including the property of that guy, Frank Ibezim, supposed senator. They touched his property too. So the violence seems to kind of like be spreading as we speak. I do not, for any reason, support any violence, on anyone or anywhere. But something tells me there's so much disconnect between the political class of the eastern part of Nigeria and the people they are supposed to be representing or leading. And it is bound to get worse. There are these politicians from eastern part of Nigeria who have grown insensitive of the situation they have put their people in, especially since under Bokohari. A lot of them believes that they could probably just sacrifice their people for whatever it is they are being promised by this Fulani terrorist and their sponsor from outside Igbo land. If you are so much in contact or in touch with the people you think you are leading or representing, there are some certain things that shouldn't even never be muted, ideas that should never be kind of like brought forward, talk less of you acting on them. It's unfortunate, isn't it? I'll leave it at that and go get ready for later this evening. A comprehensive report of how today went across Nigeria. The supposed giant of Africa on the 64th birthday. They've got nothing to show for it other than disjointed people, disunited people, hunger, terrorism, corruption, and all the vices you can think of. I will see you later this evening. Thank you for spending your afternoon with me. And I hope I see you later at night. Until then, please take it easy and stay safe. Good afternoon.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary. ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Máyégún Diary politico.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tójódodo.
Máyégún Diary na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ
ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódi ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.